So I recently read Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, or at least I think I did. To be honest, this book left no impression whatsoever, and I'm trying to think of the last time that I read a book that was such a non-entity. Like, fully. This is probably worse than reading a book that you dislike, or even, like, go as far to say that you hate the book, because when I do feel that way about a book, there's still passion involved. I can get in front of this camera and I can say stuff, I can be overcome with, all the things that I don't like about the book. It was just like, it's a book. It's not, I think even a month on from now, I'm not going to be thinking about it. It absolutely registered no feelings in me whatsoever, and it was really trying to. I will say, I think reading lots more books now because of my book talk, I feel like it's making me a cantankerous bitch. So I would like to come at books like this from a more constructive angle, and so what I'm proposing is a new initiative called Alfie Fixes the Book, where I come up with ways that this could be tolerable or, enjoyable even. I know that might be a stretch, but I think it's possible. So the story is about a 25-year-old woman who her relationship breaks down, and because of that she quits her job, and then she leaves Tokyo to go off into like the wilderness, well, not the wilderness, but like a more rural, remote town called Jimbocho, I believe, so that she can stay with her uncle at his bookshop, called the Morisaki Bookshop, of course. And that's like the general plot. The second act, it changes considerably, and all of a sudden the aunt comes back into it after she walked out of the uncle's life years ago, and it's very strange. The tone throughout the whole book is quite odd because things aren't fully addressed, and the book, it feels a bit unfinished. Like, it's quite a short book, and I think there could have been more time, more attention, more care even given to some of the strands of this book, because there were side plots that would just vanish, and you'd be like, wait, but I wanted to know what happened there, and you never will. So what I'm proposing, Alfie Fixes the Book, we completely get rid of the girl. She is no longer our MC. Our MC is the uncle, the man who owns the bookshop, who inherited it from his father. But the book starts with him in his youth, and we follow his relationship with the aunts as they like fall in love over their mutual love of books. Yes, it's very saccharine, but I think that's the beat that this book was trying to get at. It was trying to make readers relate, to the different habits of going into a bookshop, the things that you do, the way that you sort of look at titles and scan them, and there was no emotional impact there for me, but I think that would help. I didn't dislike our main character, but I just thought a lot of her storylines felt irrelevant to the overall thing, when the story clearly wanted to focus on the relationship between the aunt and the uncle and how that had broken down, but then she'd come back, but then she found out she had a terminal illness, and so she was going to leave again to spare the uncle the pain, but then he ran after her because he wanted to stand by her. Like, that was clearly the more interesting, more emotive storyline, so I think that should have taken centre stage. It doesn't help as well that the main girl, the way we get... immediately the book started off on the wrong foot, because this girl, it starts and she's at dinner with her boyfriend, and he suddenly says, oh, I'm thinking of getting married. And she's like, oh, wow, really? Were you going to tell me? And he's like, oh, no, to, like, this other woman I've been seeing at our mutual workplace. I was like, what? What? Does that happen? I don't believe that would happen. If you've been dating someone for that long and they're seeing somebody else right under your nose, all three of you work at the exact same establishment, that's not getting by you. You would have to be ridiculously naive to not even suspect anything. Like, I get that she's only 25 and she hasn't experienced life, and she probably, you know, was very trusting until this happened and didn't think, you know, oh, that he could betray her this badly. But come on. Come on. You know, he's missing on the weekends. Like, he's going out with this other woman. They're so close that they're thinking of getting married. You would notice. You would notice. The fact that the whole book was predicated off of that. Like, oh, it's because of that upsetting heartbreak that she leaves her job and then goes to her uncle's bookshop. Like, no, you've suspended my belief too far. I can't. If that is the case, then I just think this character is a bit, you know, dopey. Like, come on. Wake up and smell the cheating. But yes, that was Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. I can't, in good conscience, recommend this book. The only thing that I can take from it are the book recs, because there were multiple classic Japanese authors and titles that are being thrown around, and so as they were saying those, I was kind of like, oh, add that to the list, add that to the list. So if I'm taking anything from the book, I'll take those. But the book itself, nah. I don't think I like this writer's style, and I don't think that this is, you know, a very meaningful time. It's sort of a quick and it's gone.